All right, let's talk about predators. But I want you to forget everything you think you know. We're gonna travel back in time, way back, about 60 million years, to a world that's, well, it's completely lost to us now. A world where a true monster ruled the Amazon. This is the story of the one and only king of snakes, how it rose to power, and how it all came crashing down. So when I say Amazon predator, what pops into your head? A sleek jaguar, maybe? Or a huge, lurking crocodile? Good guesses, but not even close. The real answer is just, it's bigger than you can probably even wrap your head around. Seriously, this is a creature that makes literally everything alive today look tiny. Okay, so our story actually starts in a pretty unexpected place. We're in a massive coal mine in Cerrejón, Colombia. But here's the cool part. This isn't just a mine. It's like a time capsule. It's a 60 million-year-old rainforest, a whole world, perfectly preserved, and just trapped in these layers of earth. And it was just waiting for someone to find its secrets. And this discovery, it was not one of those eureka moments, not at all. It was more like a super slow burn puzzle that took decades to figure out. The first clue pops up in 1994. A geologist named Henry Garcia finds this weird-looking fossil, and everyone just thinks, oh, it's a tree branch, and basically forgets about it. Then, years later, another geologist, Fabian Herrera, finds a similar one. It took all the way until 2007 for these bizarre fossils to finally get to the right people who could figure out what was really going on. And even when the experts got their hands on it, they were totally stumped. I mean, the size alone was just baffling. What was this thing? Could it be a giant prehistoric crocodile? Maybe a massive turtle? Or were the first guys right, and it was just a tree trunk? Honestly, nobody had a clue. So all the puzzle pieces are finally in one place, at the Florida Museum of Natural History. And the big aha moment, the moment that was about to completely rewrite the history books, it all came down to a really simple, almost off-the-cuff comparison. Just look at this. The difference in scale is insane. On the left, you've got a vertebra from a modern green anaconda, the biggest snake on the planet today. And on the right, that's our mystery fossil. And right there, it all clicked. This wasn't a crocodile. It wasn't a tree. It was a vertebra from a snake. But it was 3 times bigger, 3 times thicker. The mystery was over. So once they knew it was a snake, the next question was pretty obvious, right? How big was this thing? So they took that one bone, they ran the numbers, and the result they got back was just staggering. Up to 50 feet long. 50 feet. To give you a picture of that, we're talking longer than a city bus. Just try to imagine that. A snake longer than a bus? It's almost double the size of the biggest anacondas we have any record of. It's on a whole other level. And you know what? The length is only half the story. Get ready for the weight. They estimated it was around 1,200 kilograms. That is well over a ton. A 1-ton snake. Seriously, let that sink in. This thing was heavier than your average sedan, and it was 10 times heavier than a green anaconda. This wasn't just a big snake. It was the undisputed biological heavyweight champion of the world. Okay, so this discovery just opened up a whole new can of worms. The big question wasn't just what it was anymore, but how. How is something like this even possible? I mean, why don't we have snakes this big today? The answer, it turns out, isn't in the snake itself. It's in the world it lived in. So to get how it got so big, we need to talk about one key idea: ectothermic. It's just a fancy word for cold-blooded. See, unlike us mammals, snakes can't make their own body heat. They're completely dependent on the temperature of the world around them to get their metabolism going. And that leads to a pretty simple rule, really. For a cold-blooded animal, heat is basically fuel. So the hotter the world, the faster their metabolism runs. And a faster metabolism means you can eat more, you can grow bigger, and you can support a body that is just absolutely enormous. And believe me, the Titanoboa lived in a true hothouse world. We're talking 60 million years ago, an Amazon that was way, way hotter and more humid than anything we know today. The average temperature? It was always above 32 degrees Celsius, all day, all year. That constant, intense heat was basically the furnace that allowed this giant to be forged. All right, so let's recap. We've got a snake the size of a bus living in a super hot, swampy world. The next question is, how did a titan like this actually live day to day? I mean, how does a creature that massive even hunt? How did it dominate everything? Now, you might be picturing this monster crashing through the jungle, right? But the reality was totally different. On land, that massive weight would have been a huge problem. Gravity and friction would have made it super slow, super clumsy, its enemies. So where did it go? It took to the water. In the swamps, the water supported its massive body, and suddenly it wasn't clumsy at all. It was swift, agile, and deadly. This thing was the definition of an ambush predator. It wasn't about chasing things down. No way. It would just sink below the surface of that murky swamp water, completely hidden, and just wait for hours, maybe even for days. Just lying there, motionless, until some poor, unsuspecting animal got too close to the water's edge, and then bam, an explosive, lightning-fast strike. And once it had you, its main weapon was pure, crushing force. Constriction. We're talking about a force of around 400 pounds per square inch, an absolutely immense amount of pressure. 400 psi might not sound like much, but let me put it this way. Imagine having 2 full-grown African elephants standing on your chest. That's the kind of pressure we're talking about. Nothing could survive that. And this wasn't a slow squeeze to suffocate its prey. No, this was instant, bone-shattering force that would just stop your heart on the spot. So what do you even eat to fuel a body that big? Not small animals, that's for sure. Its diet had to be made up of other giants. We're talking giant turtles, like 8 feet long, the size of a dining room table. We're talking massive prehistoric crocodiles, animals that would have been the top predators in any other ecosystem. So you've got this perfectly adapted killing machine, the undisputed king of its world, with 0 natural predators. It seems unbeatable, right? Which leads us to the final, biggest mystery of all. Where did it go? Why isn't this giant still lurking in the Amazon today? And this is where the story gets kind of tragic and a little ironic. See, the snake's greatest strength, that complete and total reliance on a super hot world, well, that became its fatal weakness. The very same thing that made it a giant was the thing that would ultimately doom it when the world started to change. Slowly but surely, the planet's thermostat started to dial down. The world got cooler. And as the temperature dropped, the Titanoboa's supercharged metabolism just couldn't keep up. It got sluggish, it couldn't hunt as well. At the exact same time, its swampy home started to dry up, and a new threat appeared, the rise of mammals, who started competing for food. The perfect storm that created this titan was over. So, in the end, the Titanoboa wasn't taken out by some huge catastrophe, like a meteor or a supervolcano. Its entire empire just crumbled because of what seems like a small thing. The average temperature of the planet dropped. It's a really powerful lesson from our planet's ancient past, isn't it? A change of just a few degrees was enough to erase a titan from existence. And that really makes you wonder, what could a change of just a few degrees do to our world?